Aloha, soul family. Welcome to our end of days, and that's DAZE. Um, yeah, welcome, guys. As always, raw and unedited, as you can probably already tell. In a world increasingly with AI slop, I think it's quaint, and that's what I'm going to go with. So there we go. Um, woo! Just so many just revelations, man. It's just is it's like my soul is on fire in a good way, and just the insight is just like in resonance with me, guys. It's just like super in resonance, and I'm super happy about it. And I'm getting called to just share, And so, as I mentioned in my last video, I'm doing this for fun, you guys. At the moment, it's just for fun because uh, at the moment, I got 2 subscribers. Thank you, guys. Thank you for subscribing. And it's like I said, like Saitama, man, just doing this for fun. So let's get on with it, right? One of the things that I've been recognizing that's very important because one of the things that I've been studying most recently is scriptures from the Nag Hammadi, and loving it, you guys. Like, in my opinion, it's what the Bible's been missing in order to contextualize what the Bible really means. Because without some of these passages, without some of these scriptures that were, you know, um, driven out, essentially, it makes an incomplete picture. And when you start to look at the Orthodox Bible, excuse me, and without the Nag Hammadi scriptures, you start to see that it transforms Christianity from what it was into another hierarchy. And if anything, this is what there's several ways to say it, right? There's only one absolute, guys. But Jesus was here to free us from the hierarchy, all right? What his teachings were about, and you get to see this and you really get to feel this too, where he was here to free us from the hierarchy, all right? He was here to free us from parasitical thinking, which keeps us trapped in a loop where we are like the dragon eating its own tail, and it's not expansive. It's confining, like to the nth degree. And there's several different ways to go about this, and this is also why I hinge everything for my particular channel is the one absolute. And this is because and this is so validating for me, just on that level. But it's when the two are made one. All right, this is referenced several times in the Gospel of Thomas, and what this means. All right, when the two are made one, and I've said this in my other videos as well. It's what I would call the solution to duality. And there's people out there on YouTube, and some of the YouTubers I've watched for quite a bit. They talk about non-duality, and which I guess is a way to say it. This is, but I like to phrase things in a positive context, which is why the one absolute works for me. And like I've said before, so much is just a language. You have to see what the intent is behind what people are saying in order to really grasp things. Because even though I personally don't prefer the term non-duality, I might link it so that people who are familiar with the concepts can see what I'm saying too, and hear it and give me feedback. So much of this is about feedback, you guys. In some ways, I feel like I'm preaching. In other ways, I feel like this is an entertaining thing, just to give entertainment, share my perspectives on everything. And the other thing is for feedback. All right. I do want this feedback. I want to be able to see how things are going. And I understand, having a little more streamlined production might be a little bit better. But like I said in the beginning of this video, there's a lot of AI slop now. And there's a part of me which also wants the challenge of being able to sit down, record, and actually make a coherent presentation without a bunch of edits, which are fine. Edits are fine. But this also verifies and validates, hey, I'm a real human being here, full of mistakes and everything. And I just make those mistakes part of my production, And this is also freaking scripture, you guys. That's scripture too. This is what God does. This is what forgiveness work does, is that our greatest errors and the things which have traumatized us can become our strengths. They can become what helps us move forward. And it might not make any sense if you're in the thick of it, but that's also why I'm here. This is why I'm here, is also to give validation and show, yes, it is possible, because I've been through a lot. All right, and I think that some people, especially, in just kind of breaching this here, I'm currently living in Hawaii, and it is a place that definitely has discrimination. All right, and I very much understand that discrimination, if anything. Which might sound even stranger, but it's just like, and I talked about it in one of my previous videos too, where these outside conquerors came in and dominated the local population, and that's a portion of the story. And so with that, of course, I understand there's discrimination here, and there's others. I'll just say it like it is for the local language here. The haoles, which is a discriminatory term. I think of it like the N word for brown people. Let's just say it like that. And is that Indians? How can I talk about what's going on and actually make sense, and while still trying to tiptoe on political correctness, right? And so I kind of walk the line. I think all of it's BS, you guys. Seriously, I think most of it's BS. Even before the times where it became really prominent, back in the day, way before I was recording, I'd make jokes because they always tried to think of names to discriminate or show disdain for basically, white people, Caucasians. And nothing ever stuck, like, hey, cracker, and be like, yeah, I guess I'm a cracker. I'm a saltine cracker, and it didn't stick. And so my thing back then was just like, if you really want to get under white people's skin, you know what you call them? Racist. And sure enough, you guys, they took it, and I think I was just reading into things, not necessarily, they might not necessarily been listening to me, but I think of it as funny and more validation on everything that I've kind of picked up on, maybe my talent, my gifts, things that I'm putting forward now. And as in my previous videos too, sometimes things have been really heavy for me, and I still do want to record when I'm in that heavy place, because this is life, guys. This is what it's about. Even if most of the time I'm in a good high energy vibrational place, that does not mean that I never have low moments or low times. And I understand how important that is to view. All right, because people end up, especially through social media and other things, always have the smiles on their face and everything's all great all the time, and it's just like, no, it's not like that. All right, even for these people, that like so much of their lies is not even just for the people around them to get validation from them, it's to convince themselves that they're happy. All right, and that's my premise, is just like, and I hope my authenticity and genuineness comes through. I don't need other people to validate me in this particular way. Okay, I know I'm happy. I know what I'm receiving. I know what God is. All right, I know these things. All right, I have a relationship with these things. Okay, and if you're from that stance, if you think that that's arrogant or blasphemous or whatever, this channel isn't for you, guys. Like, you don't want to listen to me then. At the same time, I would say maybe try to stomach it, in so much as I'm the other half, all right, of you in this particular case. I'm the side and the path that you've chosen not to go through. And so you will always be incomplete until you accept this other side of yourself. It is what it is, you guys. And I'm just breaking it to you like real, like, bare bones here. I'm trying to look at the camera more, just as a side note. It's just hard. I want to be able to keep because there's a video here that I can see, and I'm getting better. All right, it just takes a little while. It catches my eye sometimes. So we got that going on. So if you ever wonder what I'm looking at, it's myself. All right, that's what I'm looking at. and it's to help me. So like if I can use my peripheral vision, I know I'm going off the base here, but just like because with my hands and everything, I do want to be able to use my hands just like I do, right, for the chiral handshake, which totally look at that video, you guys. Chirality, all right. This is to help explain duality, just like I was saying before, all right, to have the solution for duality, all right, because duality is the illusion that there's more than one absolute, which is not true, all right. There's not true. There's only one absolute, and there it is, all right. This is it, all right. And this is what it means to make the two one, all right. This is why it's so important to breathe this, all right. Like even like I was just listening to something too where breath, and this is more about the Hawaiian lifestyle, what it means to be a haole. It means you don't breathe, all right. This is why in so many cases it is like the biggest slam you can fricking give somebody, all right, when it truly comes to God, when it truly comes to the essence of life, all right. Because if you're not breathing, you're dead, all right. And if you're not spiritually breathing, you're dead. You're spiritually dead. Even if you're physically breathing, you're not really truly living. All right, you're just existing, and you're existing, like I said before, in this dualistic state where you're at war with yourself. You're at war with God. All right. So there it is, you guys. Just there it is, all on the table there. If I'm going to tie anything together here, breath, right, breath. What are we doing when we breathe? All right, breathe in, breathe out. Now, when we talk about breathing, are we talking about just one side of breathing? No, we're not, because the one absolute is how we unify this, all right? Breath is, all right? There's an in-breath and an out-breath, but the in-breath is an absolute, and the out-breath is an absolute, all right? They are part of the same breath. In order to breathe, there needs to be in and there needs to be out, and that neither one is better than the other, all right? Neither one is an absolute. We need both in order to make the whole, all right? And this is not duality. This is transcending duality, all right? There is only one absolute. And I know I mentioned like discrimination, and I don't know how to go about this, but this is also with this solution, where I was talking with somebody else who basically, in my opinion, from a child, all right, he was raised on the islands, all right. He is as Hawaiian as they come, all right. And the irony and the agony of this is that other Hawaiians who were born on the island and who have a Polynesian blood or Japanese blood see him more as like a haole, as this off-worlder who came on and lived in the islands, even though he's lived most of his life on the island, even though he has a great in-depth knowledge of culture, of the lifestyle, of Hawaiian language. I mean, it's one of those amazing things. To me, it's just like seeing this guy and seeing other people treat him like he's this other white dude, just like, no, I'm the white dude, like you can see it. I'm new here. I'm probably not going to sound anything like the what I would call the true Hawaiians, right? The people who have really lived here, who have really breathed the lifestyle. I get that, all right? But tying this back together, we are all in the same boat, you guys. You got to understand that this parasitical system and this parasite in general has colonized the world, all right? And yes, there are certain individuals who have doubled down and are basically dead. They are spiritually dead, and they have doubled down on this parasitism and this duality, and they only see the world through duality. They cannot see the one absolute. It is impossible for them. To them, it is a world of many absolutes, which is why that they're in conflict with themselves. And it's also why they are essentially vampires, all right? They need to prey upon other people and get them to validate their own thinking and their own way of being, because they can't validate themselves. All right. This is also what God does for us. I know I'm going off all in many, many directions. I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes here. But this is what God does. This is what Jesus was doing for us. Okay. He was showing us how to be in alignment with the one absolute, to unify the understanding. All right. Because I always want to quantify. It's not because it's delusional thinking. If I say I am God in the sense that I am the one absolute, of course not, you guys. Of course not. Like look at me. I'm very finite in this form, all right? Just like we all are, right? Just like we all are. But does this mean that I am separate from God? Absolutely not. All right? No. All right? This is what Emmanuel means, God with us, God for us, all right? There's many different patterns and ways of explaining this, many stories that have come by to try to help us explain and get in touch with this, all right? And it comes from many different religions, all right? And I'm focused more on Christianity at the moment. I have studied Buddhism in the past, but it's a long time ago, and I would need a little bit of a refresher course, the Eightfold Path and everything. It's been a long time, you guys. It's been more than a long time. But one of the things that I took away the most from Buddhism was the importance of breathing, right? Just like so many religions try to nail into us, just like, wow, breathing in life, right? The little hints and breadcrumbs for the one absolute. And not non-attachment, but I guess non-attachment, but it's just like letting go of attachments, because attachments to being right, to being certain things, puts us in a duality, because then we have to defend what we believe, what we're attached to. And when we're able to release it, it gives us a lot more freedom. Now, I know people in the duality mindset are going to be like, well, if you have no attachments whatsoever, then, excuse me, if you have no attachments whatsoever, then, you have nothing to hold you down, right? And it's just like, but you're not looking at the whole situation then, and you're taking me out of context is what you're doing, right? Context is so important, you guys. It's so important. Because think about it. If I am so bent on having no attachments whatsoever, what's really going on? I'm attached to having no attachments, all right? Which is still an attachment, all right? Do you see it? Do you see it? But when we let go, when we truly forgive and we let go and we don't have attachments, we've let go of our attachments, what we end up being is in a flow state. And that flow state is our natural state of being, right? All right, let's say I was attached to in-breathing. Oh, it feels so good, but I breathe really fast. It makes my system not feel as good, all right? I'm hyper-focused. I'm attached to a particular side of the polarities, all right? And when I'm not attached, when I don't have an attachment, I've let go of the different polarities, I shift back and forth between the polarities to such an extent, I'm just flowing, all right? This is what it's all about, you guys. It's just like my time has come or something, maybe my life review was just showing me that it's just like, yeah, I gotta get out there, man. Like so much of this for me is living it, all right? Like I know this intellectually, and maybe it's a gift, maybe, lightning came down and struck my brain. Another Hook reference, you guys. I like that movie, Hook. I grew up with it, you guys. But getting way back on, right, and I've kind of gone all off, way all over the place here. But we've all been, like, to the discrimination part of everything, we've all been dominated, all right, to some extent. All right, so yeah, I am this white dude, all right, dare I say even projected upon, but it's just like a howley, but I'm breathing. I'm burping too, but I'm breathing, all right, you guys. And that breathing is so important. It's so important. It's just recognizing it too. And for me, this is part of, like, me making these videos, for example, it's finding my voice. A lot of this lifetime, I knew this stuff, all right? And I wasn't telling anybody. I wasn't putting it out there. I was afraid of being crucified again, like the witch trials, burned at the stake, you guys. Because the people who said these kind of things, the hierarchy and the parasitical system would ixnay them. And I'm at a place and a point in my life where I realize I cannot be crucified again. All right, this is also the beauty of, I might go over on my time here, whatever that means, right? But the crucifixion's already happened, all right? We've already been crucified. We've already learned that lesson. We've gone through that. And so we accept it, we do the work, we keep moving, and more stuff will rise to the surface. We just keep walking, but it's not, and it gets better. It just gets better and better and better and better. Like there's an experience which was very, very real. But when I first began breathing again, and maybe I'll share exactly what that means, where this happened. But I died, you guys. Like I was dead. Like and I felt it and I knew it. And I stopped breathing in a literal sense, not just a metaphorical or spiritual sense, but in a literal sense. Right, 2020. Whew, what does that mean, you guys? 2020 on the clock. I mean, where we stopped breathing, and I think it was a kind of a collective experience there, you guys. And those of us who are moving on, who have began to breathe again, all right, it's painful at first. Like is the best way to say it. It's just like, and it's labored breathing when we truly start to breathe again. But as we focus on it, as we keep breathing in, out, I was saying that to myself, you guys, because if I stopped thinking about breathing, I was going to die, and I knew it. I absolutely knew it. So I kept breathing. And from that moment, I've just been gaining momentum, and that's the intent, you guys. That's the purpose of all of this, all right? Whew. So I know I've just been going off here, but this is also tying back into the discrimination factor here. We got to breathe, you guys, and the other side of the coin is what is going to free us. Just like I said in the beginning of this, like the path less taken. And I believe truly that we are here to help each other. All right, we are here to support each other and unify with each other, and that it takes a really awake and aware populace to kick the parasite, all right? And this means truly not demonizing any particular class, anybody, all right? Because one of the things that I recognized on the dualistic side is that the conquerors, all right, have basically stolen the wealth of the commoners, the commoners and the conquerors, you guys. And maybe that's not even the accurate thing, but I think it's accurate because guess what? Even before the white man came and dominated these tribes or these tribal people, guess what? There were conquerors within the tribes, all right? There was still a conquering type of energy within the tribes. And to a certain extent, it was needed for that time because it unified. Those conquerors unified things that were just too hectic, too chaotic. There was too much fighting. And in that time, that conquering energy was able to unify things, all right? But here's the thing. If the conquering energy cannot then be submissive in a particular sense, if the conquering energy is just a dominating energy, it's going to run into problems. And it's eventually going to collapse, and it's going to invoke the wrath of the commoners, the common people, all right? And what I'm saying here, what I'm showing here is that we each have something to learn from another. So those who are commoners, all right, have so much to learn from the conquerors, and that hatred is preventing us, all right? This venom and this parasite is preventing us from integrating the other side of the coin, all right? Part of the reason why I'm able to talk about this and understand it is because I have done the work, you guys. Like, yes, my skin color is white, all right? I get it. I absolutely get it. But I have been extremely discriminated against most of my life, using psychological terms for our society. I'm neurotypical, you guys. I would be the person who always asked those questions and always did, the thing which wasn't necessarily good according to the hierarchy. And I'm proud of it now, but back in the day, it scared the crap out of me, all right? It scared me. I saw that my thinking was different, and what I thought was important was different. For me, living in integrity is so important. Living authentically is so important. I just inherently understood where it's just like I don't want to just fit in. All right, I want to be me. All right, I want to smile when I'm happy. I want to frown when I'm sad. All right, I want to smash stuff when I'm angry. That's within reason. There's only one absolute, you guys. But the premise here is that I wanted my expression to be authentic. And in order to do that, I had to gain a lot of courage, you guys, because there was also the programming and everything, which was like needles, man, just freaking needles over and over and over again, where the splinter in my mind, you guys, where it's just like, just fit in, man. Don't you want to just fit in? And to a certain extent, I did. But what it cost me was my authenticity, and it felt like crap. All right, it felt like crap, you guys, where I just hold my tongue. Like, and this is also why I'm probably talking so much now, and like yada yada yadaing in front of the camera here, just because my tongue was held for so long, and so I'm just getting it out there. And so I know I've jumped around a lot. I'm right. I keep saying this. I try to keep my rants here concise, just so it's followable. Not everybody has 30 minutes to listen to stuff, but I'm getting better. I'll start making shorts. I've said that for a little while now, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I'm dressed up now. I'm looking pretty snazzy. I'm gonna go to. They call it a life group, but it's like a church group. It's like a church group. And so and like I said, there's a lot that I like about deep down the spirit of the churches. I've been on the other side of that, and just being on the streets is a very different experience. All right, and this is also what I mean when people are just stuck in this hatred mindset. Guess what? It just disempowers you. All right, when the commoners just hate the conquerors, I just hate you. I just hate everything about you. It's like they're just drinking poison. And then you look at the people's lives, all right? This is also why I couldn't fit in, man. Like, I just could not fit in on either the conqueror side or the commoner side. And looking back now, it's because I've just always been all about the one absolute. Even before I had the language for it. I was just like, well, I just don't fit in anywhere. Where now it's just like, oh, I fit in everywhere. I understand everything. This is why it's so difficult, or been difficult for me to find a particular place when all of those places are dependent upon a dualistic way of thinking. And so there it is, you guys. Just there it is. So I guess I'll leave it at there. We're stronger together is the biggest thing. And I've been homeless for a while, you guys. I've experienced true hardship. All right, I didn't this is why I think people confuse me sometimes. Like, and on the streets, they confuse me. Even though I'm very kind, all right, I'm very generous and I'm very kind-hearted. I'm very aware at the same time too, all right. And people tried to mess with me. People thought I was this naive individual, and the truth is that I'm not. All right, when I allow things to happen, I know what's going on. All right, you can't lie to me like you think you're being all witty and everything. Nah, I'm just overlooking it. All right, for the time being. All right, I'm letting you dig your own freaking hole. Is essentially what it is. And then as soon as I'm done with the situation, I've seen, because this is it. I'm giving you an opportunity to change here. All right, this is what I'm doing. And as soon as you've shown that you're not willing to change, you don't care, you want to keep your dualistic thinking, you want to keep slapping yourself, stabbing yourself, drinking that poison, I'm done with you, all right? You're an old thought form to me, all right? And there's still hope, all right? God's here, the Holy Spirit's here. You are going to have to do it on your own, though, and you're going to have to do it with other individuals, because it's not going to be with me personally, all right? I am here for the individuals who are truly in it, all right, who are truly dedicated to it, because this is what we need right now, all right? We need dedicated individuals who are ready and willing. And this is why I'm also talking about it too. Guess what? I'm not worried about death, all right? And I genuinely know nobody can kill me, all right? Nobody can really screw up what's going on for me. And this isn't an arrogant statement. This is God ordained. All right, I'm breathing. I am breathing God. All right, just as God is breathing me. And we are in this together, you guys, because the goal here is not for my ego aggrandizement. All right, it's not just for me as an individual. It's for all of us. And when we get on board with this, when we start to see this, when we really get into this, this is what's going to shake the foundations of the hierarchy. just as it's already shaking. This is what some people don't necessarily understand yet, is that the whole hierarchy is shaking right now, and they're not going to advertise it. This is what they say. I don't believe in necessarily revolutions. Revolutions are just circles, right? But they say the revolution won't be televised, all right? And the parasitical systems are going to keep pumping out the news. They're going to keep pumping out the fear. They're going to keep pumping out the things which have always worked in the past. But when the two become one, all right? This is the best way to say it. When the two become one, those things do not work anymore, all right? When you breathe God and God breathes you, woo, the two become one. All right, and this is what Jesus was trying to tell us, all right? And he didn't try to tell us, he told us, all right? Whether we have the ears to hear it or not is up to an individual basis, all right? And it also shows what we're focused on and what's important to us. If we want to understand the word, if we're truly dedicated to learning, if we are seeking with an honest heart, we will find it, all right? And so this is why, ask for the truth, you guys. Ask for the truth, because the truth will find you. Just be ready. Just be ready, because it's going to shake up things, all right? And it's always, if you lean into it, and this is why I'm trying to hold down this vibration as well. When you lean into the truth, being of love, all right? When it's just shaking things up and you say like, all right, anything that's falling apart, it's for a reason, and that love is on the other side of this. And even more than that, it's shaken things up so that we can see that love's always been here. We have just had blockages. We have just had things in front of our faces and our eyes and our systems that prevented us from being truly in touch with this. So I know that's been a long one. I got to get ready here, you guys. Like I said, I have a life group coming up. And so I don't know how to end this per se exactly right now. Just let's have the two become one, all right? Especially in terms of the discrimination thing, because it's just like, okay, yeah, you can make me out to be a Haole, all right? You can make me out to be this white conqueror, but I am like the furthest thing away from that personally, because I have been extremely poor for a very long time, all right? And even when I worked really, really hard, menial freaking jobs, all right? I didn't have this huge inheritance, this slush fund or trust fund or anything like that, all right? I worked for the money that I had, and I gave it away, all right? And I'm still getting back from that kind of a situation. Theoretically, it was kind of stolen, but I did give it away, you guys. I really did give it away. And maybe that'll be for another video, you guys. But it's just like having zero ID, nowhere to go, nothing. Guess what? The reason that I'm in a room right now is because God breathes me and I breathe God. All right? That is why I have a room right now. And I put myself to work. All right? Guess what I did? I started volunteering at churches. All right? And it wasn't even to receive from them. Maybe a little bit, because it's just like I was coming from a place of complete scarcity, but I was also lonely. I also wanted that fellowship, okay? I wanted more than just this isolated life where I was having to defend myself against other people on the streets who are also in an extreme scarcity mindset. And so I'm working with everything, you guys. I'm working with everything. Because it's just like, at the same time, I understand, as on fire as I am about this, I'm not looking to destroy the system. All right, the system is neutral. There's a lot. We need to reform things. All right, but part of this is that things are going to be better for everybody if we gradually awaken. All right, there is no such thing as an abrupt awakening, in my opinion, especially on a collective basis. We can't just wake up. All right, because it's more of a reset, and not in a good way, you guys. Not in a good way. This is what the delusional, spiritually dead people have. Excuse me, it's just burping. Ooh. Right? It's old stuff that's just coming up. We're getting out of the old stuff, right? But that's what they've done. All right, that's what they thought that they wanted. But this is why I have this power. All right, this is why I'm trying to communicate this to. I can't be killed. Okay, I can't. None of those things can happen. And if if it's deemed that I do die or something, it is so that my message and everything that I worked for and have communicated here will get more traction. All right, so it will free more people. So it will liberate those souls, and they will know the one absolute. All right, that is why. And so awesome, right? To quote Obi-Wan, strike me down and I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. All right, and it's because I'm here, guys. I'm just here. I'm here to free you. I'm here to free myself. That there's no separation between that, and that me working toward that liberation and that freedom is for all of us, all right? And so that's why if anybody tries, which is the key word, try, you can try to attack me, but what you're doing is attacking yourself. And it's going to be reflected upon you so freaking fast, all right? And if you attempt, like this is why I can talk about all this stuff. You can't steal my authenticity, all right? You can't steal my energy. You can't destiny swap with me, all right? You guys, you can attempt if you're attempting to do that stuff. I almost welcome it, because then you welcome in the lessons that I've had to walk through in order to get here, all right? And bravo, if you're able to walk through those lessons like I have, then I got a teammate, all right? That's not a bad thing. And at the same time, if you're not capable of that, don't invite that into your life, you guys. All right? Like, we all got our own path to walk, but I don't talk about it, you guys. I've had a tough time, all right? Just like we all have. That's the whole issue too, all right? And I don't want to make anybody else's life harder. If anything, I'm trying to make everybody's life easier, all right? But that's up to you. It's up to you just as much as it is up to me. All right, and I'm not even necessarily talking to the viewers here. All right, the true viewers who are part of my channel. All right, my 2 subscribers at the moment, but increasing every day. Right, increasing every moment. So okay, that's long enough, you guys. I thought this was going to be like maybe a 20-minute video. Now we're into 36, ranting here and there, but in a good way. Venting maybe. Getting it out there, and like I said, I got to get ready for my life group here, so just keeping it real, keeping the updates real. I'm going to keep doing this. I really enjoy this. I enjoy this format as well, and so we're going to keep going in this direction, and I'm just going to start to put out stuff. I'll try to do a more in-depth version, interpretation of the Gospel of Thomas, and so we'll see about that. All right, we'll see. I don't label it, appropriately too. And until then, you'll just hear off-word comments probably from me. Like I said, hopefully it's entertaining, you guys. Maybe have me in the background or something, right? And so, right, as always, if you like me, if you like my stuff, if you like my material, if you like what I'm saying, you like my energy, whatever that is, on this YouTube platform, give me a like, all right? Thumbs up. Give me a shaka, all right? If you want to see more of it, and you want to help motivate me, subscribe, you guys. Awesome. Just join the boat, man. There's room for everybody here. And, I'm grateful for you guys, man. I'm grateful for my haters, too. You're giving me energy. That's what the power of alchemy does, man. You want to give me attention? Okay, go for it, you guys. I'm trying not to have any preferences. I prefer the good stuff, but I'll take the bad stuff, too, And I'll try to look at it, in a term where it's, constructive criticism, and or you're just showing me where you're at, which is, it is what it is, you guys. It is what it is. Showing me where you're at, showing me where I'm at, and, we can just go from there, Okay, I really got to go. I really got to go now. So, as always, guys, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for you guys. Peace out. Love within. Woohoo. I'll catch you on the flip side.